And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, welcome, past, present, future watchers. I am Scoop Bucket, as always. Today we're gonna be doing Homestuck again. We got Do. Say hi, Do.
Hey.
And we got Popcorn.
Meh.
Now,
Close enough.
unfortunately, a lot of people are running late today, so we are going to try and make this work the best we can. We left off here with it's Rose, right?
Rose.
Yep. With Rose slapping away at those keys and John trying to get the cookies. So we are going to pick up where we left off last time. And we're going to go as long as we can before we need one of the other people's.
Alright.
Oh, is that? Oh, do we want to? Do we start with the narrator or John Cookies now?
Oh right, yeah. Ginger's the narrator.
Well, I mean, you were narrating the first time we did this.
Yeah, all right, I'll narrate. You refuse outright.
Okay, so yeah, John. Cookies.
This impudence is. Oh, John Cookies now.
All right.
Says Kermit.
You refuse outright.
This impudence is insufferable. Go get the cookies.
Well, when you put it so politely, how can John decline?
John, you are stupid.
You really need to work on your manners.
Stupid, stupid, dumb.
That's not a command. It's nothing. It's stupid. You're stupid.
For the last time, I command you to get the cookies, boy.
It's not gonna happen, buddy. Yes, in the future. But really not enough to write home about. An agitated finger slips mid-keystroke. Beans!
Cans.
Cans.
Human etiquette. Arrow!
We don't have anybody who usually plays Rose.
Ah. Alright.
Do you want to just take all the female voices and Sleepy and I can
Alright. Alright,
do
That's fine.
everything else?
I got this.
No, I mean, I can. I don't mind.
No, it's cool. I'm going to try and put on my most sophisticated voice possible.
Oh, Lord.
Here we go.
I may have been a bit hasty in advising you not to bother with the prototyping process. If I spared any detail, it was only to optimize your chances of survival. And if you find yourself begrudging the absence of certain instructions which, if followed, would have resulted in your demise, then I guess that makes two of us. Otherwise, you're welcome. But the fact appears to be that prototyping the kernel sprite before making your your getaway may offer the only opportunity to exercise control over your new environment, a place known as the medium. Also, if prototyped with one or two sufficiently, albeit loosely, humanoid and or sentient elements, living or otherwise, it offers a chance to have all this explained to you by an apparitional guide through whatever sort of cryptic, sketchy doublespeak your choice of prototyping element or elements engender.
Hello,
or
I am finally here.
Oh.
Also, hi.
Hi.
Also, I will warn you, there's gonna be more background noise than usual.
That's
Because I'm in the living room again, and my girlfriend's playing video games. But
that's
I am
fine.
here. I am tired.
All right, I'm gonna pick Rose up again. In lieu of this, you may be forced to settle for my clear, thorough explanations and audacious dissection of raw data. Again, don't mention it. If you have made it to the medium with an unmolested vanilla sprite, well, I have already covered the bad news about this missed opportunity, and I will go into this further soon. Though what extent this may actually Though, to what extent this actually is bad news, I am not sure. I only know the result of my co-player's curtain configuration, wherein the sprite was prototyped once before departure and once after, which brings us to the massively rewarding experience of haggling with an exposition-slinging phantom guide. So long as you avoid prototyping with terribly inert items, such as a brass door knocker on your father's pornography collection. Actually, that might be interesting. If you're stuck by the spirit of such an experimentation, please don't hesitate to contact me about it. So, yes, you can enhance your sprite in this way, but doing so after your departure will no longer induce this effect on the medium I alluded to. That can only be accomplished with one or more pre-departure prototypings. In fact, we can extrapolate. There are only so many ways to prototype a sprite. Tiers of prototyping in relation to departure. Both before, one after, both after, only one, either before or after, none. Those occurring before will affect the medium through the kernel's hatching process and your guide, i.e. spirit. Those occurring after will only affect the sprite. The effects this process has on the medium, or more globally, the inky sphere are still vague. Intimate sphere, whatever, are still vague to me. They have to do with flavoring the forces you will struggle against, and generally all forces at odds with each other in this realm. It has given me some insight into the nature of the game, which again I derived through extrapolation. We appear to be engaging in instance of a dimension with a highly flexible set of parameters and a series of objectives surrounding an equally flexible mythological framework. This framework seems to begin as a sort of blank template and evolves with the player's actions, and likely further evolves with the addition of more host/client connections, and thus more prototype kernels. I regret to say I can't be more specific than that without loosely extrapolating further. There are plenty of questions that have occurred to me, however. Questions concerning the kernel sprite, which I've raised implicitly already, such as, what is the effect of an unprototyped kernel on the medium? Or a doubly prototyped kernel, for that matter? And even more salient are the questions about this dimension itself. Do all players worldwide make it to this dimension if they successfully complete their departure? Or is a unique blank instance of the dimension created for each new player? I have no evidence, but instinct tells me it is closer to the latter situation. There is no indication of any other players present in this realm. Alterations in the realm seem singularly centered on the actions of my co-player and myself. If I had to stake anything on it, I would guess every... Oh, sorry. Oh, hi, Kepler. Baby. I'm reading Baby.
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 If I had to stake anything on it, I would guess every separate client-server pair activates its own fresh copy of the Incipy sphere, or a unique session, if you will. But the quantity of players is a further complication, which invites more questions. It seems the game was designed to suit two players most naturally, the server and the client. But through a mishap, my co-player and I have slipped out of the obvious tandem arrangement, and the only logical course of action to continue playing is to string a daisy chain of server-client connections together until presumably the chain is complete. Theoretically, we could complete this chain with only one other player, functioning as the as the server to my client and the client to my current co-player's server, assuming he can recover it. The strange thing is, though, in our instance of this dimension, there are 4 receptacles for divided kernels, not 3. Does this mean we are destined to have a 4-player chain? How could the game know such a thing? Perhaps it does. If this proves to be the case, I trust I will be sufficiently numbed to this realization. And, crossed out. I can consider nothing about this game surprising at this point. In fact, for the first moments of play, it managed to deviate so far from my expectations that I completely forgot what my original purpose with it was. I had chances to test some information I obtained on good authority during the prototyping phases, but it completely slipped my mind. Instead, the game's catacombs securing the dark twisting paths to necromancy were blurred into rather an accident. But perhaps you don't need to know any of this. Rethink organization? Lead maybe waist down in logarithmic sludge. Trimmed down. Blah! Ginger?
She's not finished with this yet. Jeez, cut her some slack. Maybe you could go bug someone else for a while. Or at the very least, someone else.
Months in the past, but not many. Arrow. Pesterlog. That's you, Popcorn.
What?
You're GG, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
You alright?
Just spaced
GG
out.
popcorn.
What?
GG popcorn.
Yes, thank you. I'm very fucking tired. I get the joke. Hi, happy birthday, Rose.
Hello, and thanks.
Did you get John's present yet?
I just opened it this morning. What a stunning coincidence you would ask about it. I'm stunned.
Yeah, I know. What will you make with it?
And who said it was something from which something else could be made?
Well, John did tell me what it was. Duh.
I suppose I'll take a stab at learning the craft. It's the least I can do in response to the subtle dig concealed in his gesture. He often tells me I need a new hobby when I make perfectly reasonable analytic remarks.
Oh, but Rose, I don't think he meant it anything like that by it. You see, not everybody always means the opposite of what they say, the way you and Dave always do.
Maybe. His birthday's in a few months, isn't it?
Yep, I already finished a present for him. I've been working on it for years.
Years? It's so hard to tell when you're joking, or if you're even capable of it.
I just mailed it too, so it's sure to get there on time. Mail takes a while to get anywhere from here.
I'll probably craft something with a strong sentimental value. That should burn him.
I don't think you really mean that.
I guess not. So, shall I expect a green package dropped to my house via airmail from whatever screwball cranny of the globe you're tucked into?
No. Sorry, but you are sort of hard to shop for. Besides, I have something for you today that I think you will like better than something in a box.
Oh.
It is a tip.
This is already intriguing enough to compensate for the grave scarcity of lavish gifts parachuting from the sky. Please, go on.
Did you have a pet a long time ago that died?
Yeah.
Okay, well, how did you feel about your cat? Did you love him a lot?
Okay, well, I didn't mention it was a cat or it was male. Let's pretend I'm surprised and you're embarrassed and move on. To answer your question, I would describe my feelings toward the animal as lukewarm.
Okay, that's fine. It doesn't really matter, I think. Just, what if someone told you you could play a game that would bring him back to life?
If someone told me that, I would regard the remark with a great deal of skepticism. If that someone was you, on the other hand, then I would have to ask preemptively, is that someone you?
Yes, that someone is me. I just thought you might find it interesting.
So what is this game?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying is all. I think you'll hear about it later, and maybe you can talk to John and Dave about it. They are way more into all that stuff than I am.
I'll see what the word on the street is about it in due time. For now, I should probably order a copy of Knitting for Assholes. It'd be a shame if I ran late with John's present. Dave, get katana!
You captcha your katana. 2 + 1 + 2 + 1 + 2 + 1 = 9 mod 10 = 9, and prepare to venture out into the apartment to retrieve your bro's copy of the game. But first, maybe, just maybe...
Dave, retrieve dead bird.
Dude, that bird is long gone. It probably won't last long in this heat anyway. You don't even know what's up with this sick heat. The sun threatens to set but won't step off. It's staring you down like the big red eye of a hot needle skipping on a groove it's tracing around the earth. While lingering in midair, its heat seems to suspend time itself, stretching it like warped vinyl. It's meant to rain this season, but there ain't been a drop in sight. Even a little drizzle would help. Might help to fizzle the sizzle a little bizzle, set the record straight on this global turn tizzle. So don't change the dizzle, turn it up a little. I got a living room full of fine dime brizzles, waiting on the pizzle, the dizzle and the shizzle. G's to the bizac, now ladies here we gizzo. When the pimp's in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. English romantic poet John Keats.
Sounds legit. Wait, who's supposed to be playing Dave anyway?
That's me.
Right now we do, yeah.
Also, before we turn the page, do note the little arrows on the flash there.
Yep, I already hit it. Dave,
Okay,
enter
just
your
wanted to
room
check.
and go into the living room.
Sorry, little dude, coming through. Gotta put you down for a bit. You figure you've left him hanging long enough.
Dave, hastily enter the room with Wild Abandon.
You barge in and see a familiar face. A friendly face.
Arrow.
You stand in the living room. Your bro spends most of his days in here. At night he crashes on the futon over there. You don't see him anywhere though. There's the puppet chest he stores little Cal in when he takes him out on gigs. But when he's home he usually leaves Cal on display somewhere. And with good reason, cause Cal is totally sweet. So sweet. Man.
Dave, pity the fool.
It's your brother's Mr. T puppet, which of course is kept in the apartment with a sense of profound humorous irony. But as usual with your bro's exploits, this is no ordinary irony, or even anything close to a pedestrian Tier 1 ironic gesture, which is a meager single step removed from sincerity. This is like 10 levels of irony removed from the original joke. It might have been funny like 8 years ago to joke about Mr. T and how he was sort of lame, but that was the very thing that made him awesome and badass, and that his awesomeness was also sort of the joke. But in this case, the joke is the joke, and that degree of irony itself is also the joke, and so on.
Oh,
Only highly adept.
I think at this point we need to play the Inception.
Yeah, where's Hans Zimmer when you need him?
Honestly. Only highly adept satirical ninjas like you and your bro can appreciate stuff like this. It's cool taking stuff that other people think is funny, but you know really isn't, and making it funny again by adding subtle strata of irony which are utterly undetectable to the untrained eye. Also, for good measure, Mr. T is wearing a leather thong and handcuffed to a pantsless Chuck Norris puppet. God, you hope you can be as good as your bro at this someday. You'd never tell him that, though.
Dave, find little Cal and give fist bumps. By the way, dude, did you want to voice the Dave commands?
Sure.
I mean, the setup we have going on, I feel is all right, but
Yeah, no,
Alright.
you can go for it.
All right.
Cal's nowhere in sight. All you see is a bunch of your bro's weird nude puppets strewn around haphazardly. You guess these things are kinda cool. Sort of.
Their noses are oddly phallic.
Yep.
Indeed they are.
I wonder why.
Dave, play a game on the Xbox.
It looks like your bro was playing. It's not like him to leave in the middle of some totally intense gaming. Not like him to misplace Cal either. Man, you hope the little guy's alright.
Arrow.
Oh, there you are, dude! Didn't see you there! We be chill today, Cal. Yeah, you better fucking believe we be chill. Cal is the man.
Dave, resist great urge to play Bros Xbox.
You fail to resist the urge. You start thrashing up something uncanny brutal on your quest for mad snacks, yo, and get this way rude hunger under control. Shit is basically flying off the hook. It's like shit wants nothing to do with that hook. The hook is dead to that shit. But you get stuck in some poorly modeled 3D fixture or something, like a railing or a piece of the wall, you'll have to reset. Fuck this shit.
This is so 2009.
Yeah. Where's my Doritos?
Dave, give little Cal. Dave, give little Cal a bro fist bump.
Oh man, you almost forgot. Gotta give the Seaman some props.
Arrow. Check out your bro's sweet gear.
Your bro has so much sweet gear, it's hard to keep up with it all sometimes. Here's his computer setup. He's usually got a lot of stuff cooking on here on any given moment. Since he's not around, you might as well sneak a peek.
Look at your brother's computer.
Oh, hell no. Your bro's computer is password protected, of course, to protect all the incredible top secret shit he's got on the burners. Of course, you know what the password is, and he knows you know it, and you're both cool with that because the password is the most awesome thing it can be.
Arrow.
You enter the password. On the desktop is a hodgepodge of unnamed folders to store all the stuff he's working on. No one can decipher his organization system but him. He also tends to use the application Complete Bullshit to keep up with the ludicrous amount of websites and news feeds he monitors to stay hip to the scene.
Open complete bullshit. Oh dear God.
This is complete bullshit.
Yep,
Oh
that's the way to
God.
put it.
Check if Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff has a sweet update.
Your bro keeps up with your projects in his aggregator, just like you keep up with his. He's tuned into your various blogs, and of course, Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff. You navigate to the latest comic in one of the many bullshit feed bands.
Okay, come on, Lindy.
I'm ready.
Yes!
Sweet Bro and Hello Jeff. Bro, I got a ticket for the big game. It's sports. Dog, I am so jealous. You know I love the big game. Oh yeah, I told you, dog. And there he goes. The big man has the rock. He's driving so hard through the paint downtown. I'll you for the slam dunk.
It's so perfect.
I'm using a Logitech from like 2008.
Perfect.
And if the mic is like super like unnecessarily, so I have to fold it back up so it's like next to my ear, and now it sounds like this.
Oh my God.
If I just bring it down to my face, it turns into this.
Oh God.
It's so bad, but I love it.
Top tier
It's
equipment.
perfect for this.
Oh,
It's
yes.
perfect for this. Also, should we go like backwards through the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff to get the ones we missed?
Oh, could we?
Oh yeah, sure.
All right.
Wait, let me think. We left off on comic 4.
Yep.
It's the one that has Obana on it.
All right, we'll go in reverse.
Oh no, no, it's only a 2 back.
Yeah, just go. There we go.
Economy. The economy in ruins. Bruh, time to get my game on. Oh no, what I'm saying. And there he goes. The squirrel has his game. I am not joking. What did that guy even smoke? This is insane. Maybe they're right that sometimes video games does cause violence.
Maybe sometimes they does.
Maybe sometimes they does. Bro, did you get the new hot game that everyone's buzzing about these days?
Wait, you gotta click to the next one. Oh, that's the new
That's the last one.
There we go.
Yes, this one.
Dude, you know I did. You know it. That is so sweet, man. How about a bro hug bump? Okay, how we do this? Let's do this thing. Let's make this shit work. We're doing it, man. We're making this happen.
We're doing it, man! We're making it happen!
We're making it happen!
And then this was the newest one.
I'm dying, Squirtle.
Should we read one more?
Yes.
You know,
we
why
make it
not?
happen.
All right.
Okay. So the big game, and then
We finally get to see Jeremy!
Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff introducing the new friend, Jeremy. Bro, have told the dog. Bro, have you seen my socks around anywhere? No, dude, again? With the socks? What is it even with you with socks, man? It's like you must be toking up on a joint to make you stoned or something. I can't even think of who leaves all their socks lying around like that. Ah! Sock lose was a distraction. I have the car.
What the hell?
It was a distraction. I have a car.
he has the car.
He has the car.
Somewhere
God.
out there is somebody that found Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff and doesn't know that it's associated with Homestuck, and they were just reading this as is.
I mean, it doesn't help
Oh my
that
God,
the
I hope
comics themselves were actually released like a month before a month or more before they appear in the comic, which is wild considering that some of them tie directly into the comic.
It's because Homestuck was planned ahead a lot more than the previous MS Paint adventures.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, was it.
Okay.
Mouse over the orange stripe containing plushy rump.
Oh god, I need to get some water. I'll be back.
Yeah, I can imagine you would do that.
Another one of your bro's many ironic websites. The difference here is he rakes in thousands of dollars a month through this enterprise. Smuppets are a multi-billion-dollar-a-year enterprise, and it's awfully hard to resist taking a firm squeeze from the plump udder of that cash cow.
Is this a sex thing?
Yes, it is.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no!
You should read the live puppet chat 24/7.
Yeah, let's see. We got hi, soft ass quivers, foam, proboscis at soft ass from Foam Friend. Then he got one I'm Plague Skimbo.
It's legs akimbo.
Oh, legs akimbo. I bet there's a lot to give to that ass. Soft ass. Bounce a coin off it. It's not going anywhere. Foam Friend. Yeah, bet that coin will take a good nap there. I wish it said how much it costs per month.
I would love to know.
Alright, let me check up a chat. Yeah, Dab and his bro is not gay, most definitely. He did have the car. Okay. Stop wasting time and look for Bros Beta.
You guess you've messed around on his computer long enough. Better get a move on before it's too late for Rose, or worse yet, your bro catches you. But my god, the rumps, they are transfixing. You know this is ironic and all, and your bro reaches echelons of irony you could only dream of daring to fathom. But on rare occasions when your guard is down, it all seems just a tad unsettling to you.
Ass, 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 ass. Stop! Shake the motherfucking booty.
Hammer time.
Hammer time, yeah. Arrow. Arrow. Wait, oh no, it's a GIF. Things are happening. Oh no, it was just turning his head. Arrow.
Oh, hey. Hey there, Cal.
Give little Cal a nervous fist bump. Arrow.
You are sort of starting to flip the fuck out, without losing your cool, of course.
Pester John to ease your nerves.
You get Egbert on the line again to give him the lowdown on your progress. You feel it's important to keep the wires hot, but he's not answering. You wonder what that guy is up to.
Arrow.
Hey, what is up? What happened with the monster that is totally definitely in your room? Did you kill it? Where are you, man? Anyway, things are cool here. Totally cool. Puppets are still awesome. No problems with them or anything. Just really, really awesome.
Arrow.
Looks like Rose is finally logged in. Didn't John say her house was burning down? You wonder if she's on fire yet or what.
Pester Rose.
Do we want to reread this one just to refresh ourselves?
Sure.
So I think this one popped up already.
Wait,
But-
Oh, you know, yeah. Now we can keep going. Seconds in the future. Seconds in the future, but not many. John, what are you doing? Step out of it. We ought to discuss what your grandmother told you, don't you think? Fine. Enjoy your super. I'll go about my business elsewhere. Rose, deploy the punch Dizenix. John, whenever you're able to read this, you should know that I put the shale you collected to use and finally deployed the punch Dizenix. It is in your study. I can only drop it, though. You'll have to be the one to mess around with it to see what it does. When you're finished with your weird histrionics, maybe you could give it a try. I'm updating my walkthrough. It would help to know what it does. Arrow. Also, I should probably warn you that your house and yard are completely infested with monsters now. Try to be careful. So I can see. Stupid lousy imps. They're mucking up all my cool stuff. Oh, there you are. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. I'm not sure what came over me. I was acting really crazy for some reason, but it feels like my head feels like it's clearing up. I think I'm all right now. John, rebuild the claw hammer and return to the Specubus.
You are getting way better at this sort of thing.
John, confront Pogo Ride to prepare yourself for Nana.
Thank God your sanity has returned so you can entertain extremely rational, coherent thoughts like this one. You examine the Pogo Ride from the bathroom window. You do not like what you see.
Arrow.
Arrow key.
Should I read the caption yet?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Those sons of bitches! No one risks painful injury on your green slime ghost Pogo Ride. No one but you.
Oh, hi, Kepler. What's up? Nah. Did you just want to say hi? Drop something heavy on those imps. Wow, and the Pogo Ride was completely unaffected.
Took him out who framed Roger Rabbit style.
There, now Kitty is on screen.
Yes.
Arrow. Rose, my piano. Frowny face. Sorry, no nuance these controls at all. I was hoping to bludgeon the imp without letting go of it. Guess I can't really do that. A broken piano isn't the end of the world, though. I guess you're right. We'll need to pick up the spoils in person. I can't interact with the grist. So that means I have to go out the back door? Yes. Is there a problem? Well, it may sound dumb, but I was hoping to avoid Nana and her spooky ghost cookies. You're right. That does sound dumb. Can you see her in the kitchen? Yeah. What's she doing? Is she baking? You could say that. Are you sure you can't get that grist up to me somehow? Maybe. Yep, Spurb is the end of the world. Rose, use the Pogo Ride to fling grist through the window.
Doesn't look like that grist is going anywhere. You just never know with these gaming abstractions.
Arrow. Rose, draw Pogo Ride in John's bathroom. John, get the grist. There you go. Now, why don't you check out the Designix? You can do that while I get to work. On what? Piano, level up for slaying the imp.
The piano, in its valiant effort, has unfortunately been slain. But if it hadn't, it would have raked in so many boondollars, you have no idea. So many.
Rippin' pepperoni.
It's time to build. Nana said to build, so that's what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, okay. But this sure is going to take a lot of grist. Looks like you're going to be busy, John. Ugh! Well, what are you building? Stairs. They're fairly expensive, actually. Oh, man. I could have warned you about the stairs, Rose. Arrow. I told you, dog! I'll try recouping some of the grist from the catwalk I built
It keeps happening.
earlier.
Thank you.
Ah, good. It looks like I can get a refund for earlier allocations. I told you, Rose. I told you about the stairs. Okay. Consider me fully briefed on the matter of the stairs. Now, if you don't mind, it's hard enough to concentrate on this without immersing ourselves in Strider's non sequitur. Did he know he thinks puppets are cool? Does he? He's so dumb. Use build grits on the construction observation tower on the roof. That looks
Okay.
so janky.
You obviously don't have enough grist for something that ambitious, but you can get started with something of a foundation for upward construction at least.
John, check cabinets for imps or useful items.
No imps in here, just a lot of shaving cream.
Well, you said shaving cream
shaving.
wrong.
What?
You said shaving cream wrong. It's all caps.
Oh, right, sorry. No imps in here, just a lot of shaving cream. Dads love shaving. It's basically all they do, when they're not baking, that is.
John, bring 2 cans of shaving cream.
You capsulog 2 cans of shaving cream, just in case. You never know when you'll need to bust out a hilarious shaving cream Santa beard to ratchet up your prankster's gambit. Your telescope goes flying out the window.
Ride Pogo Ride.
It's a little cramped in here for any sort of proper reckless pogoing. You'll just grab it and hang on to it until the right moment presents itself.
Arrow.
Nice.
The towel floats back down to the rack. The circle of stupidity is complete.
Check on Nana Quinn. See what she's cooking. Arrow.
So many cookies.
Oh.
No.
Violence.
John, make your way to the study.
Hell
Arrow.
no.
Oh God.
Looks like the imps have taken a shining to the Cruxtruder. Crixite and black goo. Everywhere.
Ride the Slimer Pogo and one-up that imp. The hell?
Well, okay, it's not a Slimer Pogo, but you mount it anyway and brandish your deadly armaments.
Ride your steed to victory! Arrow.
This is incredibly dangerous.
That is why it makes you feel alive.
Flip the fuck out!
Let's see how they like the old double barrel lather blaster whoops oh shit!
Arrow!
Mr. John, respectfully ask that you please stand up.
Ah!
Don't move or the Pogo gets it!
Now, sir boy, flee from this boorish rabble post-haste.
What the hell? What?
Nice abscond.
What?
Nice
just-
abscond, dude.
Arrow. Punk. Refrigerator, level up for slaying that imp.
The refrigerator skyrockets up the echelon to a new rung. 5-star General Electric and earns 285 boon dollars. Things are really looking up for this feisty appliance.
Well done, John. Polite congratulations.
For some reason, you feel a sense of positive reinforcement. Wherever that feeling is coming from, it sure is a welcome change from your erratic moods earlier.
Now, my civil fellow, I have a well-mannered query to ask.
I blocked the entrance to the study to give you some space to work with the Dysenics. John aims behind you. Should I take care of it? You trapped your PDA. You trapped your PDA again, didn't you? Why did you have to pick up all that stupid shaving cream? So pointless. Drop something heavy on those imps. That's one
Well,
way to
that
kill
works.
an imp.
Indeed. John, might I bother you for a can opener?
Oblivious to the commotion behind you, suddenly you find yourself pondering the whereabouts of a can opener. You think there is probably one in the kitchen, but the path is blocked by your refrigerator.
Arrow.
John is completely unresponsive. What the hell is that nincompoop doing?
Years in the future.
Let's not get totally carried away here.
A studious eye darts out the page like a honeybee, gathering the nectar of wisdom. Typical human.
Typical human!
That's one way to use a book.
Just absorb all of that tasty information.
Arrow. Oh, God. Oh, thank God, it just opens here. I can't take as many as I'd like to for comprehensive documentation. For what it's worth, here's my magic luck so far. More captures forthcoming. We need the poop too. Co-player John assesses his environment after transitioning to medium, followed by Sprite, sans kernel, prototyped once pre-hatched, completely useless in this form. Severed from suburban grid, house remains mysteriously powered. Convenience, presumably facilitated by game, which perhaps deems navigating powerless house to be a handicap, less in keeping with the spirit of game's principal statement of challenge. Internet connection remains stable as well. Will likely remain stable until internet itself is compromised by some external threat. Something like, oh, let's say hackers. Kill monsters, get grist, build on the house. That's the game. Didn't know what the point of this was at the time. Floundering trial and error on exhibit. Unsuccessful attempt number 2, prototyping. Knowing what I know now, I might have avoided using back-breaking Vade Mecharum for practical jokesters rife with antiquated lexicon and racist aphorisms. Either that, or I might have tried harder to succeed. Final screen capture before I lost my internet signal for some time. I don't know what happened thereafter, but when I returned, the car was nowhere to be found, and the driveway plateau was in a state of disrepair. The mysteries, will they ever cease? It's not that hard to determine what happened! Sprite prototyped once more with grandmother's remains. She treats John to some helpful exposition in a friendly maternal manner. Co-player has displayed inexplicably capricious behavior since arrival. Stress-related. Contracted virus indigenous to realm. It should be noted he was kind of a weird guy anyway. Designix deployed. Still no clue what it does. At mercy of co-players' foolish prioritization tendencies. Grist payload from slain foe. Now their ideal damage what the co-player does yield us the same, though I have significant advantage in battle, taking measures into my own hands deprives John of hand-to-hand combat experience, which ostensibly will become more critical later. Building, the point. Building upward, the point sharpened and directed. Ah, steeds, what steeds? Has the whirlwind of a home in your mains? Is I'm not going to dignify this the full read. Yes, I have no idea what the fuck he's doing here. Another one of these things. Really, Egbert family? Really? A view of his kidnapped father's room. I can't see in here for some reason. Perhaps this is because John himself has never entered the room? It is possible I can only see in a sense what John can see or has seen already. I've not found the time to discuss this with him yet. If he enters the room, the question may answer itself. Construct loft above John's room.
That looks very stable.
Extremely. Arrow! Arrow! Show best of luck. Ladders
Extremely OSHA.
Ladders seem to be a bit cheaper than stairs.
Much OSHA, very compliance.
Fellow John, it appears we have reached an impasse.
Big Gordon's
Yeah.
right.
It seems so.
The opener dilemma remains unsettled, most unfortunately.
It is unfortunate, I guess. What are we talking about again?
But it has been a pleasure nonetheless.
Thanks for the courtesy. It's not really necessary, but thanks anyway.
Oh, but thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so very, very much, dear favorable small primate. I shall take my leave now, John. Until next time.
Wait, where did all this sweet loot came from? And why is there suddenly a crumpled hat on your head?
John, gather grist, examine Dysynix.
Feeling especially economical with your behavior suddenly, you scoop up all the grist in the room and turn your attention to the punch Dysynix all in one fell swoop. The device features a countertop station design with a keyboard setup, not unlike an old-fashioned computer. There is a blinking red light and a diagram etched into a panel.
Arrow. Rose, answer Dave.
Okay, wait, hold on. Why am I getting this stupid game for you? You're the one who should be wrist deep in puppet ass.
What is the specific problem?
The problem is that I'm up to my goddamn neck in fucking puppet dong.
You know you like mannequin dick. Accept it.
I'm enrobed in chafing, wriggling, god fucking damned puppet pelvis. An obscenely long, coarse Kermit cock is being dragged across my anguished face.
Let's put this into perspective. You put up with the puppet prostate because you love it. Also, coarse is a good word.
You don't seem to harbor any sympathy for the fact that I've been burrowed fuck deep in lively, fluffy Muppet buttock. I'm whirling in the terrible cyclone at the epicenter of my own personal holocaust of twitching foam noses. It's like a fucking apocalypse of Perky Proboscis here. Like, the Proboscalypse, I guess.
Are you going to start rapping about this?
What? No, listen.
Prong of the flesh be rift of home, found solace twixt a cleft of foam.
Oh, Jesus.
Of apocalypse your thoughts eclipse, a painted pair of parted lips. That dare thought kiss to stir the air, that teases tufts of orange hair. And though faces flush in lovers' fits, hands snug and plush as gloves befit.
Okay, Dickinson, if you can shut your perfumey trap for a half second. This is serious. I'm just saying, if I see one more soft, bulbous bottom being, like, kind of jutting out and impudent or whatever, I'm gonna fly off the handle. I'm gonna do some sort of acrobatic fucking pirouette off the handle and win a medal or some shit.
Then let's hope there will be a squishy derriere somewhere below the handle to break your fall. Observe the back of the first visible capsulog card.
That's a fun page.
Yeah.
You flip over the top card containing your pogo ride. Anytime you capsulog something, a new code appears on the back of the card. You've always wondered what the code was for. Damn, these things are hard to read. But then, you've never really found any reason to decipher them. Until now, perhaps?
Examine the reverse side of Hammer card and Strive Specibus.
Looks like cards from your Strife deck have codes too.
I can't read that, so I must be a robot. Enter the capture code as seen on the back of the Pogo Ride card.
You enter the code capital D, capital Q, capital M, lowercase m, capital J, capital L, lowercase e, capital K into the keyboard. At least you think that's what the code is. The red light switches off. A green light begins blinking.
Insert card. Type in NZ, capital Z, 7, capital U, lowercase n, 6, capital B, capital I.
In the interest of due diligence, you enter the other code and repeat the process with that card too. Both cards are now punched with different hole patterns.
Well, that's pleasant. Thank you, Swift. Attempt to retrieve Pogo from card.
Oh, well, that should just be a simple matter of... Uh-oh. Looks like it's trapped now. You don't see how you can access the item anymore, or store a new item there for that matter. These cards are pretty much useless now, and the items they contain are toast. But maybe all is not lost. Recalling from your experience with the pre-punched card, you may be able to use the cards to replicate the items in question. Assuming you got the codes right, that is.
Match keys heedlessly.
Not quite through with your cowboy empiricism just yet. You mash at the keyboard to generate a random code. You enter lowercase d, lowercase s, lowercase k, lowercase j, lowercase h, lowercase s, lowercase d, lowercase k. The Designix stops you after 8 characters, which appears to be the maximum length for a code. The green light goes on, signaling its readiness for a card.
Arrow.
Figure you might as well burn the shaving cream since the project is not exactly at a premium in your household. You also figure you might as well merge the 2 cans onto 1 card. You're a little sad that your dad isn't around for this. You have a feeling he would get a real kick out of the idea of duplicating more shaving cream.
Arrow.
You punch the card with a pattern that is in no way related to the code for the item it contains. This should make it for an interesting experiment. Mad science is a lot of fun.
Oh no, Swift, don't say that. Arrow!
Unfortunately, you just burned another card in the process. Your deck is really dwindling now. Maybe you should have thought this through a little better. On the plus side, you just freed up your PDA, which is overflowing with the pent-up chatter of anxious pesterers.
Arrow! Arrow! Duh.
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh
dun.
god. Arrow. Answer your chums. Show Pesterlog.
Puppets, awesome. That's really all there is to say on the matter. Turntech Godhead set his... Fuck, I can't read. To rancorous.
John, I'm about to throw a bathtub through your wall. Watch out. Arrow. Show Pester Log. Wow, that was so totally unnecessary. I made a shortcut upstairs. I thought it would be a good idea to get up there and try the cards as soon as possible. Also, you weren't being terribly responsive. You mean these stairs? Man, look at these sheets. Oh, sorry. You mean these stairs? Man, look at these shitty stairs. They're so narrow. Supposed to climb those? They're perfectly navigable. I'm saving on grist for now. If you keep slaying foes, collecting grist, and expanding the cash limit, we may not need to be so economical with our resources in the future. Arrow. So, why didn't you just build a way up through that hole in Dad's room? Have you ever been in there? No. Exactly. Huh? I'd rather not get sidetracked. I'm more interested in further exploring the mechanics of the game than watching you discover what sort of outlandish harlequin decor your father keeps in his room. Oh, come on. What's the big deal? I'll just climb up there and go right through. Will you? Yeah, why not? Are you saying you've never wondered what's in there, or why it's been kept a secret from you? Well, I mean, then trust me, you won't be going right on through. Wait, are you saying that there's something, like, troubling in there? I don't know. What do you mean? What do you see in there? I can't see in there. Oh. But I don't have a very good feeling about it. Whatever. I think I can handle more than a few... I think I can handle a few more stupid clown paintings. Move punch cards to John's room. Drag some Cruxite dowels to John's room. Collect grist, examine safe. You swoop up the bountiful supply... Oh, it's you. Sorry. Go on.
You swoop up the bountiful supply of grist generated by your co-player's recent exploits. From now on, it will probably go without saying that you'll nab any grist lying around without making a big fuss over it. You check out the busted safe, which has made a noble sacrifice in battle. Some of your father's odds and ends have spilled out, including some old newspaper clippings, and 2 rather hefty tomes. It's a fair bit that these books comprised at least half of the weight of the safe.
Examine the family tome of humor.
It's another copy of Colonel Sassacre's daunting text of magical frivolity and practical japery. This one looks really old, perhaps an original printing. Could it be the same one involved with your grandmother's unfortunate accident on that fateful day? Dad would never speak a word about it, but maybe Nana wouldn't be so tight-lipped. You give it a cursory perusal. It appears to be similar to your reprinting, listing all the japes and chicanery you've come to know and love. You captcha-log it, thinking you may give it a closer look later.
And now his PDA is locked again.
That's just how it goes in Homestuck land.
Yeah.
Examine contents of the safe.
You take a look at the other book. You're pretty sure Dad thought this was a scintillating read, but it looks pretty boring to you. Maybe you'll crack into it someday when you're old enough to shave. Everything in this safe was obviously very important to your father. You wonder why he kept it locked away from you. Some things about him you will never understand.
Arrow! Ginger?
I didn't hear you say arrow.
Arrow.
The common hornographer. Space rocks knock local burbs block off. Populace oblivious to broader significance of events, assuming there is any, which there definitely isn't. Shortly after 4 a.m. today, a downpour of meteors, yada yada yada. There's news about meteors. It seems he's been collecting scraps from the news over the years. These articles go back decades.
John, look at the piece of paper taped to the wall.
Son,
Who's-
if you're reading this, it means you are now strong enough to lift the safe. You are now a man. As such, you are entitled to what is inside. I know you will take this responsibility seriously. I am so proud of you.
Turn the card over.
You guess this is the combination to the safe. This is completely useless.
Examine back of capture log card on floor.
You guess these are all zeros? Or are they capital O's? Zeros would probably make more sense for an empty card, you think?
Capture log the card. Meow.
Lol, whoops.
Well, at least he could just remake that if need be. John, enter the code on the back of the card into the Stilodex. And John punched the card. Wait, John, before you punch the... Oh. I was about to say, if you first took note of the code, then removed the card from the card, you could have punched the blank one. You would have only burned one card instead of two. Oh. You're right. Damn it! Throw down a hat in disgust.
Yeet!
Capture log punched, capture log card.
What?
Caught that PDA real nice.
John, what? Yeah, take PDA.
The 2-card Silodex. Inventory of dumbasses.
Level up.
He's now a pesky urchin.
Level up for slaying that imp.
The couple soars to new heights on his etch-a-ladder, reaching the rung one-man julep vacuum and pockets 9,550 boon dollars. Chump change for the genteel aristocratic southern colonel.
Bathtub, level up for slaying the imp.
The bathtub surges heroically and surpasses the rung Archimedes aqua cradle, proceeding directly to vaunted rung Taft Gemmer. The tub makes off with a cool 490 boon dollars. The tub's basing capacity remains unaffected.
Safe, level up for slaying the imp.
The safe was slain in battle. A great flaming nautical pyre carries it off to Valhalla.
You know, despite some early lexicon, you gotta admire Hussy's sense of humor.
Yeah, Valhalla it's so good.
Make your way up the stairs post haste.
You're not sure. They look pretty precarious to you. But you've been assured the stairs are perfectly navigable.
Arrow.
Do that, lad, scramble. Nope.
Lousy goddamn stupid stairs.
Arrow.
Uh-oh. Meet me, big boy.
Dab. Ignore Lil Cal and find the beta.
You wander over to the place where your bro keeps his sweet turntable gear. Man, that setup is sweet. You feel pangs of jealousy whenever you walk by it. Really cool jealousy, though. Like the kind where instead of getting all worked up about it, you don't actually give a shit. One of your brother's rad and extremely expensive ninja swords is missing, though. You know this drill all too well. Trouble's a brewin'.
Dab. Take expensive ninja sword.
What sword?
What the hell? What? Uh-oh. Exit your bro's room.
You approach the exit. There's something on the door you haven't seen before. Looks like one of your bros' ironic comics he left for you to check out.
Arrow? What have I done?
Animal, please start breathing. Oh god, please breathe. Okay, make-believe time is over. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. What will Nanny do to me if she finds out? No one can ever know I haven't hid the body. Where? Think imagination. Oh, the one time I really need you. Hello, Ralph. I want to play a game. I want to play a game. I want to play a game.
Arrow!
Okay, some of this stuff you know he's just leaving around to get under your skin. This is obviously another ploy in his relentless siege of one-upmanship to get your goat. The same goat you've been meaning to bleat like ironically, but that will still have to wait for a more appropriate time. You think he knows that deep down you feel like you're still not ironic enough to get stuff like this, and this is probably some weird gauntlet he's throwing down to see if you will get it. But honestly, you think this material is just a little too ironic. You just don't need to see this shit right now.
Dave, go into the kitchen.
No sign of bro in here either. Well, aside from the absurd quantity of awesome, dangerous stuff he leaves lying around.
Transfer Katana into Strive Specibus.
With an escalating sense of threat, you think it's time you shift 9, your katana 9 to your Specibus. You figure it's better to free up the card anyway, since you might need to grab some of this stuff.
Set blender to mix.
You guess bro stuck some fake blood capsules in that puppet. Pretty gross.
Arrow.
You spot one of your bros' many webcams nearby, recording the incident. It seems you may have just been an unwitting accessory to some sort of grisly puppet snuff film. You're not totally sure how you feel about that.
Arrow.
Yeah, that's an appropriate response.
Slash.
What was that?
Capture log buster sword from behind microwave.
This might be the only thing in the whole apartment that's a bigger piece of shit than your own sword. You put it back behind the microwave where it belongs.
Set blender to crush ice.
He's just sort of bouncing around in there. You're making a bit of a mess now.
Hide evidence in microwave.
Nope.
See, like, his hobbies are cool and all, and you guess he's gotta put his shit somewhere. But what if you just wanted to heat up a burrito or something? This kitchen is pretty much useless. Cool to have a completely unusable kitchen with this miner and everything.
Uh-huh.
Dav, grab those fireworks.
You capture log all the fireworks. 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 15 mod 10 equals 5. The sink has to offer. You just know these are gonna come in handy. Why would they be in the sink if they weren't? Looks like one of them is still stuck in the garbage disposal.
Capture log shurikens.
You grab the shurikens 5 and hey! Careful where you're putting stuff, especially if you're looking to turn your Silodex into a powder keg full of sharp things.
Arrow.
You put the box of fireworks 3 back into card 5 and prepare to start or card 3 apparently. That settles that, you guess.
Take the nunchaku.
You take the Nunchako 3, once again grabbing without thinking ahead.
Arrow.
First, you capture log the box again, while adeptly avoiding the shuriken trap which you yourself set only moments ago.
Arrow.
You again round up all the fireworks. Time to regroup here.
Capture each shuriken individually.
You grab each shuriken in 3, one at a time, knocking out those nunchaku. But no worries, you've got a plan.
Capture log the nunchucks.
You take the nunchucks 6. Everything seems to be in order now. It would have been badass to go with the authentic Japanese names for each weapon, but sometimes you've just gotta compromise with this modus.
Examine fetch modus.
You flip over your fetch modus and check out the back. You're not really sure where it is you're keeping this thing. Oh well, who cares?
Press eject button.
Oh, hell no. Not after all that trouble you went through to get that stuff situated. This is a potentially very dangerous button.
Change to Scrabble points hash modus.
First, you program your modus with a Scrabble points hash function, adding it to the list. A equals 1, B equals 3, C equals 3, D equals 2, E equals 1, F equals 4, G equals 2, H equals 4, I equals 1, J equals 8, K equals 5, L equals 1, M equals 3, N equals 1, O equals 1, P equals 3, Q equals 10, R equals 1, S equals 1, T equals 1, U equals 1, V equals 4, W equals 4, X equals 8, Y equals 4, Z equals 10. This might be a cool function to use, but it looks like you'll have to empty your Sylladex to select it. You're just not gonna do that yet, no way.
Check the box, detect collisions.
Okay.
Take the skateboard.
And just what is this guy so happy about? What's he looking at up there? You think if you see one more soft, bulbous bottom being like kind of jutting out and impudent or whatever, you're gonna fly off the handle.
Arrow. Arrow.
You take the skateboard, 6. Actually, no you don't. A collision has been detected. You take the, wheeled ride, 7. Man, your inventory's nomenclature is getting lamer by the minute.
Capture log the unplugged power cord.
You take the power cord, 5. Wait, no, not gonna work.
Think of a new word for power cord.
You take the battery pack, 8. Damn it. You take the battery pack using the Y as a consonant. Your Sylladex reluctantly accepts. It's a tactic notoriously employed by hashmap noobs, but you just don't care about that now. Besides, it's not like your bro's around to see.
Arrow. Oh, his bro is totally there.
Where'd that
Arrow.
little purple thing?
Dave, search for some mad snacks, yo.
Gee. Oh, it was just little Cal again. You can never stay mad at him. Anyway, you've got to get this way rude hunger under control. You figure you ought to scope the fridge for some grub. This hunger is so ill-mannered it would make a room full of snooty dowagers commit mass suicide.
Open refrigerator.
Oh god, more shitty swords. Of course you knew these were in here. You're not even sure why you looked. If you want to keep any food or beverages in this apartment, you've pretty much got no choice but to hide stuff away in your closet. Very healthy, very good.
Responsible parenting. Dev, take swords.
The hell with it. You try to take the entire jumble of unbelievably shitty swords and brace yourself. Looks like that works actually too. You captchalogue the jumble of unbelievably shitty swords.
Use ice maker. It's still hot around here.
You dispense several cherry bombs.
Arrow.
Man, this is like my aunt's refrigerator.
Wait. Who's that looking at you in the reflection?
Arrow.
My aunt is a hoarder. I'll tell you about it sometime.
Oh, okay. Fun.
Where'd the little dude scamper off to this time?
Capsulog cherry bombs.
You go for the cherry bombs 9 unsuccessfully. After mulling it over a bit, you take the red spherical salutes.
Take blender.
Blender 2 is a pretty simple word, and you can already tell that's not going to work. Instead, you take the whirling blade pitcher 4. That's really a much better name for it anyway, you think.
Activate garbage disposal. That was safe. Stuff Mr. Purple Guy into the garbage disposal.
You're still not sure what he's so happy about or what he's looking at up there.
Arrow.
While you're at it, you dump the contents of the the whirling blade pitcher into the disposal, but you suffer an unfortunate garbage disposal head jam. You notice something in the reflection, something above you.
Look up.
Hello, Dave.
It's the hatch to the crawl space above your apartment. Bro's always tucking away in there when he's busting out his rad stealth stunts. He's so slick that dangling cord never even jostles. You just know he's being ironic with these weird mind games. There's no way anyone could be serious about aping those shitty movies.
Dave, use turntables and cinder blocks to make a fort.
This is a Problem Sleuth reference, by the way.
Eh.
Yep.
It's a pretty sweet fort you just made, and you're pretty sure your brother would agree. Under different circumstances, you might be high-fiving over it right now. But rather than get it inside and take her for a spin, you really just need to use it to get up to that hatch.
Yank cord.
It is time to face your destiny. No going back now.
Arrow. Oh God. Arrow. That's what he was talking about. Arrow.
Yeah, there was pretty much no way there wasn't going to be a bunch of puppets in there.
Arrow. Alright, we've already seen this.
Yep, same conversation.
Yep.
Yup.
Read the note on the hatch.
Bro. Roof now. Bring cow.
We're doing it, man. We're making this a 10.
Burst out of the puppet pile like the one. Be the other guy. You are now the other guy.
You are now the other guy.
Take the dowels and sheets from bed and make a tent.
This is so much fun. A huge waste of time, yes, but so much fun!
Ew.
Nah.
She
Carve
tossed him up.
Carve a totem out of the punch pogo card.
You put the punch card containing the pogo ride in the slot and carve a totem from one of the Crooksite dowels.
Repeat the process with other cards and dowels.
You use the card containing the code for the hammer, as well as the one with the random code you punched over the shaving cream card for the hell of it. You carve the respective totems for the cards.
Do the same thing with the Capsulog card.
You make a totem for a catalog card. Pretty bare bones looking totem, if you ask you.
Collect totems.
You stow the totems in your Athenium.
Produce Capsulog card.
The Alchemeter requires 1 unit of any type of grist to produce 1 card. You decide to use shale, since it seems less generally useful than build grist as of now. You make a whole bunch of them.
Arrow. Whoa, did you just make all of these? Yes. Sweet, thanks. What did you do with all the blue wobbly vase-looking things?
I brought the totems out to the alchemister to test them. I'm taking some things into my own hands to save some time.
Okay. Arrow.
You create a hammer at the expense of 2 units of build grist.
Arrow.
You make a pogo ride too. -5 build, 1 shale.
Arrow.
You use the totem carved with the random code. You create a rocket pack with some random crap stuck inside it. Looks like a cinder block, a violin, and a flower pot. The items have rendered the device completely inoperable.
Arrow.
You figure you might as well put this piece of junk to use.
John, collect cards.
Using a little strategy, first you grab Harry Anderson's Wise Guy by Mike Cavaney, then the cards, then your ejected PDA, then the book again to flush the cards into your deck. Nice going!
Turn on detect collisions.
You flip your fetch Modi, but find no such option. This is idiotic.
Philo, FIFO.
It's first in, last out,
Yeah.
and first in, first out.
Read the book. Be the wise guy.
An introduction. Who's this wise guy? Blood loss in the Big Easy. New Orleans, 1977. The close-up room at the Magic Castle was this mean little box that tended to fill up with so much smoke you'd swear someone was cremating a wet dog in there. In walks Anderson. There isn't much that could get liquor to pause its journey from the table to my lips, but I'll be the bastard love child of a listless octoroon if that kid wasn't the cat that swallowed the canary in a dapper little hat. It looked like he was testing the tensile strength of his suspenders to the damn near limit with a pair of cocky thumbs. I wasn't impressed, but I was a fool. Somehow, in my motion for another beverage, he'd already slipped into polite conversation at a table held down by some notoriously brusque regulars. He had them in no time flat. They were melting butter in his glass ramekins. Whatever tidy yarn he'd spun to win him over, I didn't catch a word of it. One of them laughed. I was angry. Envious? Maybe a little. Yeah, you bet I was. Harry and I never speak anymore. Anderson had one of those little wooden finger choppers that Mickey Hades used to sell, the kind where the blade could be removed and clearly shown. It was a very convincing little guillotine that did not look like a novelty store toy. Harry would get a guy to examine the chopper and then cut a cigarette in half. Then he held up the guy's hand and told this silly little story. The story, of course, was artifice, a distraction for the guy and the audience while he worked his stuff with the chopper. Or it would become that once his famous chopper trick was perfected, vaulting him into fame, fortune, and the crowning position in the television judiciary. With what became his signature aplomb, Anderson was in moments of font of breast pocket gauze, profuse apology, and redoubling determination. It's really amazing how hard it is to find a bloody sausage-sized piece of a guy on the on the floor of a room that dark and smoky. Impossible, I think we all proved. Just as impossible as Blind Willie Buttermilk Stubbs was going to find it to work his trumpet tomorrow night without his twiddling fingers.
You never really understood what Cavaney's relation to Anderson was, or why he wrote this book about him. His ambivalent attitude towards your favorite magician in these anecdotes always struck you as a little weird. And to be honest, you tend not to read much of the text in the book. You mostly like to look at the diagrams for all the cool tricks.
Arrow.
A hole in the ace, aka the a-hole trick.
Oh,
Yeah, that's... You want to read that?
oh, yes, please. Here is a perfect example of how Harry could ruin several decks of cards, waste everyone's valuable time, and have you love him for it. He was good at that. One day, he noisily emptied his suit jacket pocket onto the hood of his car in search of change for the meter. A clunky metal thing slid from the pile and bounced onto the sidewalk. As I retrieved it for him, I asked what he was doing with a hole puncher in his pocket. His face lit up at the question like he was an elf, and I asked him how he felt about climbing into the hollow of a big tree to bake cookies or something. The 2 foot 6 inch height differential between us causes these comparisons to enter my mind. A small crowd had already gathered around even before he produced the first pack of unmolested cards. How people seem to gather, and how they even know a street performance is about to take place, I'll never know. It's perhaps Anderson's greatest trick, luring the marks like that. I wanted to ask if he was sure about this, performing in broad daylight. He was used to working in the dark rooms. It was usually the first thing out of his mouth when he would queer a trick. I'm really more accustomed to working in a darker room than this. But Harry was excited and had already butchered the first deck of cards with the hole puncher, and issued the first round of apologies to the crowd. These were like the Priver apologies, the sort that got the folks loosened up a bit before the 7-course meal of ingratiation that would inevitably follow. He asked me for a fresh deck of cards, and I gave him one. The principle behind the trick, in theory, as he explained to me later, was to punch holes in what appeared to be one card, but was in fact 2 or more together. Hence the difficulty he often had in squeezing the puncher with his little elfish hands. Then, using some coin maneuvers with his thumb, temporarily concealing the hole, while he slid the card beneath it with his palm, the hole would seem to disappear or move to another part of the card.
I'm taking this. I'm using this as an excuse to brush Kepler. He sheds like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Unlike Vega, Vega doesn't really shed, but Kepler. I am the only silver lining is that Kepler loves getting brushed. Like, look at this. He is in heaven. He's just, oh, yes.
Hmm.
I usually end up with like a golf ball sized ball of hair by the time I'm done with this.
Oh.
Let me know when to continue
Yep.
eating.
Go for it.
Such a good boy.
Oh yeah, that's right. The old hole in the ace trick, interestingly enough, pertaining to punching holes in cards and making them disappear and stuff. Your hands were never really strong enough to make this one work all that well either. But actually, this gives you an idea.
Arrow.
You overlap 2 of the punched cards. They mask each other's hole patterns.
Put both cards on the totem lead.
You carve another totem using this new combined hole pattern.
Take it to the alchemimeter.
Oh man, looks like Rose made a million hammers for some reason. Get all this shit out of the way, you're about to make something sweet.
Arrow. Oh my god. Arrow.
You got the pogo hammer.
Da 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 da. What did you
Gotta
do?
read the command.
I combine cards in the. Oh,
Never mind, whatever.
What did you do? I combined cards in the late thing and made this. So sweet. Look at me go. I see. That was a really good idea, John. Nice work. Thanks. I got the idea from Harry Anderson. Who? Who? You know, the Slow Night Court? No. Oh. Well, bottom line is, he's awesome. That's really all there is to say on the matter. Attack the nearest imp to test Pogo Hammer's strength. Oh, God.
You get a vicious rhythmic bouncing combo going and easily slay the imp in one blow. You and the pogo ride are catapulted sky high in the process.
Arrow.
Yeet! Yeet!
Arrow. Arrow.
Die.
Sweet catch. Arrow. Arrow. Faster, John. Hey, that was pretty nice. Sweet catch. Save. Oh yeah, this is pretty comfy. Why don't you just like carry the bed around with me on it up to the gate up there? I can't interact with you directly or anything you are touching. If it will result in moving you. See? Oh, lame. The game probably regards as some kind of cheating. In a way, thieving you of your free will as an adventurer, and the need to advance by your own skill and ingenuity. The server player is just the facilitator. Well, okay. Well, that scurrying around was a bit... hair.
Yeah.
All that scurrying around wore me out. I think I'm just gonna rest here for a bit. Rose, can you keep the imps at bay? Like, drop some stuff on them if they sneak too close? No, you should pick up the hammer and defend yourself. What? Come on! I have no idea what the hell Dave is up to, or if he's any closer to covering the game. There's some stuff I'd like to try in case it doesn't come through. Oh, alright. I'm just gonna rest my eyes for a second, though. John, slip. Rose, check Alchemy Exorus. It looks
like a sort of index documenting all the known results for punch card alchemy combinations. This could be a convenient resource as you start to stumble on more useful card combinations. But ever since John started punching cards, you've been contemplating other ways this item manufacturing system could be put to use. In particular, if you obtain the code for any item at your disposal, you think you could theoretically send the code to John and he could make it himself. That is, if you can think of anything that would be worth sending to him.
Capture logs, Burb server CD.
You eject the disk and capture log the server CD.
Message John the captcha code.
Well, nope.
Oh, god damn it.
It's just a Z. Arrow. Oh, come on. Her laptop has to have some battery.
Yeah.
John, wake up.
Oh, well. Gave us the facepalm times 2.
Father. Cake. Fruity Gushers. Jester. Ghost. Wise Guy. Arrow.
Hey!
Oh, there you are. How was your adventure? Oh, sorry, that's you.
That's me. How is your adventure going, John?
It's okay. I'm making some progress, and Rose finally connected again, so she's helping me now.
That's good.
Oh, but like, I don't think I'm actually saving the world here. I don't know what I'm actually. I don't know what I'm actually. No, I don't know what I don't know what I'm really accomplishing, but I guess it's not that.
English is hard, huh, John? Well, I think whatever it is, it must be pretty important. Don't lose hope, John. I think it would all turn out for the best if you stay positive. Just keep listening to your grandmother's advice.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I don't think I mentioned Nana to you, did I?
Oh, I don't know. Didn't you?
I don't know. Maybe you talked to Rose or Dave about it or something?
Yeah, maybe that was it.
They're really weird when they talk to me. When they talk to me about you, like they're always trying to convince me you have some spooky powers, but I'm always like, no, she seems like a pretty regular girl to me. But then when I think back, there are times when it seems like you know some things, like maybe you know more about a thing than you're telling me. I don't know.
Oh, well, John, I do want to explain lots of things to you. Some things that I know. I'm just waiting.
Waiting for what?
Oh, John, I forgot I was messaging you about that meteor that fell near my house.
Oh yeah, whatever happened with that?
Oh boy. Well, it turns out I was confused about it. Really confused. See, I guess I fell asleep for a while and lost track of time. That happens.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Maybe you should like wear an alarm clock or something. So, what was the deal with the meteor?
Well, it's hard to explain, but I know what it is now, and I know that everything's gonna be okay.
So, what is it? Or is this just another thing you're waiting to tell me?
Oh gosh, John, I really want to tell you all this stuff, but I can't yet. I really think you need to wake up first.
Huh?
Well, okay, not literally. Well, okay, maybe kind of literally.
Ugh, stop being so confusing!
Lol. Anyway, time for you to go, John. I think you have company.
Quickly grab the pogo hammer!
You stick the pogo hammer back in your striped succubus and get ready to kill some more of these pesky little... Huh? What's that?
Arrow!
Hoship.
D- Rose, why aren't you dropping something on that thing? Oh no. Be the imp.
You be the imp and quickly abscond the fuck out of there. This is what weaker adversaries do whenever things get too hot to handle, which is frequently.
Prepare for the boss battle!
You stop being the imp because that was stupid, and scurry over to your magic chest that you suddenly remembered was on the roof. There are some things in here that would be good to stock up on for a major battle, but it looks like someone has plundered your chest. This is so outrageous.
Arrow!
Epsa daisy.
Arrow!
You are being ambushed. There isn't much room to maneuver on this sloping roof. Maybe you should consider making your way to higher ground.
Ascend to the highest point of the house.
You go up here.
Look down.
You peek over the edge.
Arrow!
It already seems like a long way down to your yard, not even to speak of whatever's below. Hey, weren't your trick handcuffs dangling from that branch earlier? Damn it, why do imps gotta be making off with all your sweet gear?
Turn around.
Red eyes.
You are confronted with a pair of enormous foes. This is it. You have no choice but to wage a fierce rooftop battle. This is totally going to happen now, and it could in no way conceivably be interrupted by a sudden shift in our attention. It's go time. It's time to do this thing.
We're doing it, man. We're making this happen.
Dav, stop being the other guy.
You stop being the other guy. You're not even sure what that meant anyway.
Ascend to the highest point of the building.
I'm excited for this one. It's the first time we get to hear my personal favorite, like, bit of music that gets repeated in multiple songs.
does pop. Hell yeah. Psych! What?
Oh, wait.
Double 2 psych combo?
Who this guy?
Arrow!
You are now the Wayward Vagabond.
Retray.
Got him already.
Examine rotten pumpkin.
What pumpkin?
Check the little red bar.
It appears to be a gauge for a large power cell, perhaps fueled by some type of nuclear reaction. If this is the case, it is relatively low on fuel, but who knows how long it has been running here. You do not care about this sort of nonsense, and you will disregard it at once. You are very hungry.
Capsulog can of gravy.
Captchalog? You have no idea what that means. It is total nonsense, and you do not know what to make of it. You will not give the foolish notion a second thought.
Pick up can of gravy. Just pick it up.
You just pick it up. You are now holding the can of gravy.
Use sharp teeth to poke hole in the lid of the can.
Your teeth are useless for the task. They are blunt like that of livestock, presumably suitable for mashing up plant matter and not for puncturing metal.
Attempt to open can with your weak, pathetic digits.
Weak, pathetic digits are not strong enough to penetrate the can. Your fingers are certainly pointy enough, and your black carapace is suitably rigid, but you just don't have enough muscle for the task.
Take the can labeled beads!
Okay, you take that too.
Examine the can of custard.
The can clearly reads mustard, a fact of which you were perfectly aware. It is sort of cumbersome holding all these cans at once. You doubt you can hold many more than this, maybe one or two. You'll need to find something to put stuff in if you want to carry a lot of things around.
Examine marking on wrist.
You drop all the cans and take a look at your wrists.
Arrow.
It is a sort of specialized barcode pattern. This brings back unpleasant memories, and you would prefer not to dwell on it.
Examine the small potted plant.
What plant?
Check book on human etiquette.
It appears half of the pages of this book have been eaten. The daunting volume is considerably lighter than it once was.
Arrow.
You are somewhat skeptical about the nutritional value contained by these pages. However, of the practical wisdom they contain, there can be little doubt. You have learned so much.
Clear out the cans aside the purple machine.
You empty the peculiar cabinet and take a quick inventory of your canned goods. You have beans, mustard, gravy, bread, shrimp, asparagus, cheese, rice, corn, peas, flour, chestnuts, mayo, ham, potatoes, and squash. Such bountiful plenty, and yet the delights taunt you from within their small metal prisons.
Search the room for a can opener.
You have already looked all over the place for a can opener, even making a few electronic inquiries about one, to no avail. Nothing else inside the purple thing either.
Locate a nearby sharp object.
You wield your trusty knife. It is actually, you're not sure what they're called. It's an old rusted one of those red mailbox arm swing flappy doodads, either for letting you know there is mail in the box or maybe for alerting the mailman to outgoing mail to be collected. You don't know really. You've wrapped a little piece of cloth around it for the grip. It is useless for opening cans.
Be the imp.
This means nothing to you. You are not an imp, and you have no idea what an imp is, and you will not entertain such frivolous and childish ideas ever again. You feel stupid and hate yourself a little for even considering it.
Become the mayor of Cantown.
As the glorious founder and mayor of Cantown, you erect a dignified, majestic city hall out of cans, fittingly capped off with a tome of good manners for the roof. You have given yourself a very official and important-looking mayoral sash made out of old cables to complete your look of authority. A number of rather civic-minded citizen cans gather in front of the building to offer adulation to their fair and magnanimous leader. All is well.
Arrow.
You immerse yourself in this beautiful dream as you whittle away the minutes, or perhaps hours. You love the idea of being a mayor. You love everything about mayors, and the concept of an orderly civil democracy. It all seems so mannerly and reasonable to you. Everyone is friendly and happy, and the city runs like clockwork. The foundation of the government is based on mutual respect between the leader and its people. It is also built on having a really great mayor that everyone loves, who is totally amazing and heroic and brave.
Arrow.
Mayors are so much better than kings. You hate kings, and you think kings are really stupid. They are petty, bossy tyrants and are really full of themselves and are basically awful in every way. God, do you hate kings.
Explore the west of Cantown.
Over here is the other side of the room. There is another one of those purple storage boxes and some useless objects scattered on the floor.
Use the glowing green rock to open the cans.
You pick up the nugget of uranium and... Oh, that was stupid. Why did you do that?
Examine the box of crayons.
It's chalk, numbnuts.
Arrow.
Inside the box, there are 12 pieces of chalk in every color of the... 10 pieces of chalk in most colors of the rainbow. You are excited by this.
Apparently his favorite flavors is watermelon and lime.
Lime?
Yep.
Yeah.
Try to open the storage box.
It's locked. There must be some sort of release mechanism for this thing.
Examine contents of yellow container.
This container is full of motor oil. This does not seem useful to you right now.
Rescue the poor lightning bug.
There is nothing you can do for this new little friend. Attempting to crush the amber encasing the firefly would likely cause it harm. It nevertheless bravely flashes on. You find its light alluring, inspiring. To you, it seems as if it could quite easily serve as the light of...
Arrow.
democracy.
America! No. Cantown! Fuck yeah! Oh my god. Use chalk to draw some roads.
You sketch a handsome network of sprawling thoroughfares for your citizens to traverse. The adoring population applauds its mayor's keen instincts for city planning. You even add some lush vegetation to your city with a piece of blue chalk because you can't seem to find a more suitable color for some reason.
Lay a chalk foundation for Cantown's civic growth.
You develop westward, settling those fertile plains and claiming them for your city. You section off a number of residential and commercial zones for civic growth, arranged in the only logical pattern that occurs to you. You color the residential zones with your piece of white chalk, but for some reason none of the colors in the box strike you as suitable for the commercial zones. Perhaps there is an alternative.
Do I have to read that? I have to read that. Use your own pee for the commercial zones!
You cannot urinate, because you have not had anything to drink in quite some time. You are very thirsty. Also, that is a really terrible idea, and you would not consider befouling your wonderful city in that way for even a moment.
Use motor oil to designate commercial zones.
You fill each empty square with a bit of motor oil to complete the zoning. It looks rather striking to you. You can hardly imagine that an up-and-coming young can trying to make it in the world would not be delighted to live in your fair district. You are very careful not to get any of the unpleasant fluid on your person.
Peel label from the can of mayo and affix it to sash.
Mayor.
Mayor!
Survey surroundings and search for more terrain for city.
It seems you have run out of territory for your western expansion, but there's still a lot of empty wall space. Perhaps your citizens would be happier with a colorful backdrop that would make them feel more at home.
Arrow!
Using most of your imagination and an entire piece of sky blue chalk, you render a bright and cheerful sky full of clouds. You've decided that very closely orbiting your city is a luminous planet, about which orbits a single moon. You switch to another shade of blue and continue rendering on the western wall.
Arrow!
Orbiting much further from your city are 4 planets. None of these have satellites, you've decided. Yes, that makes sense, you think?
Arrow!
And on the southern wall, beyond an impenetrable veil of darkness, occupying the furthest orbit yet, there is an ominous planet. A moon circles this one, too.
Check the rampaging boy on screen.
Oh yes, that guy. You had almost forgotten about him and his confusing shenanigans. It seems like he has things well in hand at the moment. He does not appear to need your help, and you've already concluded that he cannot help you, at least for the time being.
Turn on the other 3 screens.
You have no idea how to turn these on. There is no mouse for this weird quadra-monitored computer. It can only be operated through text commands from its keyboard. Perhaps there's a special key or command which will allow you to switch to another monitor?
Press tab. Boop. Arrow.
Tab.
Arrow. Consume several cans.
You free the heavenly brown elixir from the jewels of pink carapace and imbibe like the wind. It is so sweet and sugary. You wonder how so much sugar can fit in one can. Whatever mighty wizard concocted this potion is truly deserving of your fear and respect.
Welcome the rest into the city.
The tabs are naturalized as loyal new citizens of Can Town. All cans are welcome and equal in your city, regardless of can content and whether empty or full. It's not like emptying a can kills it or anything, they are just cans after all.
Hit escape.
Feeling refreshed and heavily caffeinated, you go back to work on the big computer. You hit escape, which seems to minimize the action window thingy, and reveals a history of all the commands you've entered.
Arrow.
You use the arrow key to scroll up a bit. You can't believe how much you've already typed into this stupid contraption. What a waste of time.
Arrow.
You scroll all the way up to your first command. It looks like there are more commands above it. Maybe someone was entering commands into this thing before you. There aren't many more. At the top of this list appears to be the very first command.
Type switch 2.
You activate Screen 2. The signal is garbled and you have no idea what you're looking at. Some sort of filthy beggar pleading for help? No one is around, and nothing is happening. You seem to be locked out of any sort of interaction with whatever's happening on this monitor.
Type switch 3.
It's another one of these rapscallions. This monitor is locked too. You can't tell him what to do. Not that you really want to, since it just looks like more confusing nonsense to you. You consider switching to screen 4, but decide against it. You have a feeling that whatever's there would just confuse you even more, and you don't even really care all that much anyway.
Type home.
All 4 screens activate. Together they display a countdown, starting at 4 hours and 13 minutes.
Type reboot.
You can't! Nothing is working anymore. The timer seems to have disabled the keyboard.
Be the mayor.
Enough of this nonsense. You are an important mayor, and this absurd contraption has wasted enough of your time. You've got a city to govern with a carapaced fist, which is to say firm yet polished, and supple as the situation demands. Anyway, this will help you kill some time while you wait for that clock to count down.
Create employment opportunities for citizen cans.
You temporarily dismantle City Hall to free up all the can power available to create a vigilant town militia. You divide them into 2 groups, marking them with distinct teams and ranks using the piece of white chalk and the motor oil. You then organize them in a phalanx across the countryside, preparing for a stiff training regimen. When you are through with them, your forces will be a well-oiled machine. Chalk another one up to bold leadership.
Lead your men to victory.
So while you guys have been reading, I actually looked up this game. I typed it into chess.com and did some Googling. And it's from a 1960 game in Germany. Bobby Fischer playing as Black, and it's just an absolute routing victory for Black. And it parallels easily with the idea that that White will never win.
So, the mayor's game of chess that he plays with himself, it's mimicking an actual, master's level game of chess?
Yeah, no, it's a grandmaster game. He's smart as hell. Yeah.
Holy shit, Mayor is a fucking genius!
You know, and there's later on, Drunk Rose comments on the mayor's intelligence, but it's never stated beyond that. So yeah.
That's an amazing fact. Thank you for sharing.
Mourn the
You're
loss
welcome.
of Citizen Tab.
You waste more than 4 hours on this tomfoolery. Caffeinated jittering must have agitated all the little bubbles curiously hidden in the liquid, creating too much pressure in the can. You speculate this is why it exploded as you nervously eye the timer. You are starting to wonder what will happen when it reaches 0. Maybe it would be best not to be near it when this happens.
Minutes in the future.
Or perhaps not as few as implied by circumstance.
A pagrant mendicant trundles precious cargo beneath the glum of celestial ominous. Go outside and get some sun.
You say a bittersweet goodbye to your beloved city. It is time to move on to greener pastures, by which of course you mean an arid sandy wasteland upon which nothing green has grown in years.
Arrow!
The door shuts behind you. A panel on the door becomes illuminated. As you ponder over the marks on the panel, you hear another mechanical sound overhead.
Arrow!
Nope.
Arrow!
The LCD panel appears to have a touchscreen interface.
Curiously prod the funny-looking spirograph.
It appears the funny-looking spirograph room is locked.
Arrow!
The floor rotates a full 360 degrees beneath you, while the surrounding wall seems to stay put.
Select the triangle fractal.
The triangly fractal room does not appear to be locked.
Arrow.
The floor turns 120 degrees and the door opens.
Arrow.
You go through the door to find another room. It's the same size as the other one you just wasted all that time in, while a clock was ticking down to something which may or may not be your doom. Maybe there's something in here that will help you escape. Against the wall, there is another perplexing contraption.
Arrow.
Against the opposite wall is some sort of control panel which catches your eye. It has 2 large screens, but only one appears to be active. There are fields for numbers which appear to be modifiable with the dials to the right. Some numbers are already supplied by default, perhaps entered by the previous user. There are a few buttons below, the largest bearing the symbol marking this room. Also, it looks like there's a meter stick propped up there for some reason.
Attach your trusty knife to the meter stick. Also, I think that's longitude, latitude, elevation, and time.
You immediately craft a measuring spear through possibly the most advanced form of alchemy employed thus far. This is obviously the most important thing to do first. Obviously.
Arrow.
It would obviously be the most important thing to do if you'd remembered to bring your trusty knife. You feel so insecure without your trusty knife. It makes you want to slit your wrists, or at the very least, flip your carapace with some sort of measuring apparatus.
No, don't do that. Look at the
No.
other wall.
You examine the perplexing contraption across the room. You, of course, have no idea what it could possibly do. You adopt the only obvious course of action, which is to poke and prod it with your handy ruler. You are quite sure this is what science is all about.
Press the triangle pattern.
You go back to the control panel, which obviously controls that gizmo, and you push the big blue button, which is obviously probably the most obvious thing to push.
Arrow.
You purify a pumpkin.
Examine pumpkin.
It seems this mysterious gourd was transported, purified, from a specific time and location somewhere on this planet you are on. You wonder if the machine, a purifier, will take any object that exists at whatever time and location you supply. There is a symbol carved on the pumpkin. You don't know what it means, and you doubt it will ever prove to be relevant in any way.
Devour pumpkin!
You consider dining on the ripe flesh of the plump vegetable, but your curiosity about the purifier gets the better of you. You try to sneak a nibble from the pumpkin nonetheless.
Inspect green buttons.
You first examine the attractive green buttons. The icon for the one on the left is that house shape you've seen plenty of times before. The right one, on closer inspection, appears to be the map for this underground facility, with an X marking its center.
Press the green button on the right.
You push the button. All of the numbers change. Perhaps these are the coordinates for the location of the center of this facility, along with the local date and time? If this is the case, it would make a useful reference point for your current bearings.
Fiddle with the dials.
One way to find out would be to attempt to purify something from this facility. It should be easy to zero in on a location relative to the center, because you have an uncanny knack for tracking precise distances you have already traversed in whatever units you choose. Your handy ruler gives you a good clue as to the basic unit of human measurement. You will go with that.
Purify your trusty knife.
You nudge the coordinates very slightly and bump up the elevation by 0.5 human measurement units. You make sure to keep the time approximately what it was to begin with. You purify your trusty knife.
Purify Cantown.
You nudge the numbers a bit more and purify a bunch of cans. This is so much more efficient than walking back to the other room to get them. You are to believe that time is at a premium after all.
Disappearify the pumpkin.
Does this machine look like a de-purifier to you? Honestly, the idea that an apurifier could both apurify and de-purify things is so laughably ridiculous. You wish someone would de-purify your brain and re-purify it with a brain that is more smart and less dumb.
Use trusty knife to carve spook schema in pumpkin.
What the hell are you talking about? That idea makes no sense at all and is basically meaningless. Try using that mushy stuff in your gourd next time. Instead, you just carve off the top, exposing a decadent cache of gorgeous, seed-laden ambrosia. Needless to say, you consume all of it rather quickly, but it turns out to be too gross for us to watch.
Move spirograph switch.
You cannot move it. It has a spirograph-shaped indentation and possibly will require a special kind of key to turn it.
Apurify firefly out of the amber. Arrow!
You release your slinky new friend. You will give her a name when something suitably whimsical occurs to you.
I just timed out to apurify rotten pumpkin.
You and Serenity consider new ways to waste more time with the apurifier. You are assuming she is a girl firefly, even though you are not really sure that fireflies can even be girls. You target the extremely tasty rotten pumpkin that was sitting in the other room hours ago.
Arrow!
It seems the apurifier cannot apurify something if it will create a time paradox. A gelatinous ghost pumpkin apurifies and quickly dissolves into a pile of unappetizing sludge.
Apurify the grate over the entrance to the facility.
Serenity blinks a message of urgency. You nearly forgot that while trapped in amber, she was witness to all your tomfoolery and dilly-dallying in the other room, and knows the timer is about to expire. It is time to get this show on the road and escape. You reset the coordinates with the right green button again, and this time only adjust the elevation by approximately 10 human measurement units.
Arrow.
Okay, real quick. Wait, go back, scroll up slightly. Just want to say that Serenity is blinking, let's go.
Oh, cool. Hasten to the exit post haste. Is this really necessary? Incredibly silly. Psych? Oh, wait. Unpsych!
You attempt the rare and highly dangerous 5 times cliffhanger combo and fail. We are doing it, man. We are making this happen.
Ascend. I want to get back in, buddy. Julio, dude. So this seems like a great place to stop for the night.
Just hit the arrow.
Oh, all right, arrow. Oh.
Yeah.
This
Good
seems like
enough.
a better place to stop for the night. So, I hope everyone had fun. I hope you enjoyed watching me brush my kitty. And let me get the spoils of war. This came off of him. All of that. Look at how much this guy sheds. Oh, all right. Yeah, well, dear John. You are no doubt reading this as some handsome, strapping young man. Why, the Mangret needed to... Wait, is this from Nana? Oh, sorry.
It's Nana. Yeah.
You're no doubt reading this as a handsome and strapping young man. Why, the Mangret needed to let the book itself as a sign of your maturity, if not even to speak of the wisdom needed to grasp the nuisance of Sasuke's time-tested mischief. I am so proud of you, grandson. How I wish I could have delivered this heirloom to you in the flesh, but I'm afraid it wasn't in the cards. For you see, John, like you, this book must yet take a journey. Its journey will end on the final day of my life, and even then will continue some. Though I suppose that day... Wait, that will be up to your father. Perhaps he will discuss it with you one day, when he and you are ready. But it is your journey I am writing about to wish you luck. Sorry, my face is covered in hair. Just so much. But it is your journey I'm writing about, Ushila. There will be come a day when you'll be thrust into another world, and once you arrive, that is only the beginning. You will soon delve even deeper into the realm of one royalty and a timeless expanse. A realm of agents and exiles and consorts and carnal sprites, of toiling underlings and slumbering denizens. A realm where the four will gather, that the hair of the breath, the seed of light, and the night of time in the richest space, and together they will ascend. John, if only you knew how important you were. I regret my passing came so early in your life, and yet I feel in my heart we have already met. But I know for sure is we'll meet again. Until then, John, I do hope your father keeps you well fed. With love, Nana. P.S. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. There you go.
And so, yep, we are ready to just dive right into Act 3 next week.
All right. So I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Let me move the camera back up. Thank everyone for coming out tonight. Dew and Popcorn and Ginger, as always, thank you for joining us. Looks like Dew is bowed out, but whatever. Thank you everyone for coming.
No problem.
I'm glad I could make it.
Hey. Sorry. And I'll see you guys all next week. Bye bye everyone.
Later.
See you.